Rob Williams is the national sports editor of the Daily Hive and its Offside Sports Vertical. Rob, the hockey guy on Twitter, he joins us usually on Thursdays. How are you?
I'm hungry now.
Are we
I
all?
feel like getting I need a BC burger or something.
Mm-hmm.
Did I ever tell you guys that one season, the 2021 season, the lockout, or not the lockout, the COVID season where there was no fans in the building, going to games and the team's just terrible. I used to joke with everyone. I was like, the only reason I'm here is for the triple O's, which was what the media meal was every game.
Yeah.
I went there for my trip. I'm going off on my. I've never been more John Garrett than right now, but
It's true. The pathos was real that season, as I recall. We had to do the second part of it here in the digital space. You remember counting down the days till that son of a gun was over.
My gosh.
Rob, let's start with the poll question today. Connor Garland, role player, star player? Discuss.
you got to say he's a star player now. I mean, he's playing in all situations, top six, playing on the first power play unit. He's playing him on the penalty kill, and he's not a passenger in the top six. He's driving play, right? Like he is. I think he's found a bit of chemistry with Elias Pettersson, but like it's Garland bringing along Pettersson, and whoever thought that we'd be saying that, a year ago, even 6 months ago. But here we are, I think he's become a star player on this team, and like where would they be without Connor Garland?
We kind of fell into this poll question because we were nibbling around the edges of Kiefer Sherwood, actually, and then we landed on this poll question, but. Kiefer Sherwood might be the king of the role players now with the way that he's playing. And, we've just sort of started to marvel at his availability in the summer and the fact that it took him this long to break through. I mean, he's going to be turning 30, so it's kind of crazy, but Kiefer Sherwood has been indispensable.
Yeah, it's funny when the Canucks signed him, I felt like he was almost overhyped, like at the time. Like how much do you really know about fourth liners on other teams, right? But you're hearing people say, "Oh, he's got this great shot. Maybe they could put him on the second power play unit. Maybe he's being underutilized in Nashville." And I thought, and it all made sense to me, but I just all kind of wondered, like, you hear this a lot of times about a player the Canucks signed in free agency that not a lot of people knew a ton about before they signed him, and now everyone's talked themselves into this guy being this amazing value signing. But boy, has he ever been an amazing value signing, like better than I think he's exceeded the lofty expectations and the hype. He's doing absolutely everything that you'd hope for Kiefer Sherwood to bring to the team. We expected the hits. I mean, he's done that and more. You look at him, chirping with Zegras last game, really, getting players off their games and providing offense. Like he's got more goals and more points than Elias Pettersson right now. Unfortunately, it's a low bar at the moment, but 3 goals, 7 points in 11 games. What else could you possibly ask for Sherwood? And I think he's definitely not I know recently we were talking about Garland and saying, okay, he's a top 6 guy now. He's not a third liner anymore. Kiefer Sherwood looks like a third liner, not a fourth liner. And it's, I think that's one thing to monitor as the season goes on. I think he's become a real fan favorite already in Vancouver, and I think he's definitely one of the more popular new players on the team.
More likely, Garland turns into this generation's Alex Burrows, or Sherwood turns into this generation's Jannik Hansen?
Probably Sherwood turns into this generation's Jannik Hansen, but Hansen never hit like Sherwood. Like Sherwood can really throw it. Hansen was game, but he didn't have the punishing results. Going to be hard for. I mean, the amount of goals Burrows scored, that would be tough for Garland to match. But I'm going to answer Sherwood on the secondary poll question here.
And one of the things we love about you, Rob, is you bring us those light, bright stories, oftentimes with the Vancouver Canucks and their fans and their activities online, but sometimes in other markets as well. Tell us about this beer-chugging Leaf fan you've uncovered.
Who's taking it to the man?
Oh, I love everything about this story. So Curtis from Alberta, I don't know if you've seen him on social media, you may have. He's got over 50,000 followers on TikTok. I think he's over 25,000 on Twitter. Big on social media. One of the more famous Leafs fans online, I would say. He's a Leafs fan that lives in Alberta. His whole shtick is he has this basement that is covered wall to wall in Leafs gear. It's kind of incredible how much stuff he has, and he films himself reacting to things, yelling, not quite Steve Dangle style, but yelling, and his whole shtick is he drinks a beer to celebrate, and he'll yell that he's going to go get another beer, and he has this whole thing. Anyways, he came out this week and said that the Leafs had reached out to him and basically told him he can't drink beer with Leafs merchandise in the shot unless it's the official sponsor of the team. So the official sponsor of the Leafs, Molson Coors, unless he's drinking a Molson Coors product, they've threatened. I don't know if it was Molson Coors or if it was the Leafs, but he's been threatened with a cease and desist for continuing this. Now, part of this is he does have a partnership with a small local craft brewery in Edmonton that has designed a special can for him, and I guess he's been drinking this on camera. But it's one of these things where it's like, okay, like the amount of bad press, like it's these two giant billion-dollar organizations trying to stomp on the little guy. And what I love, though, is that he has turned this right around because he made it public right away. And now, like, the bad press, like, this is not worth it at all for the Leafs or Molson Coors. And now everyone's rallying behind Curtis from Alberta. Leafs fans obviously are in his corner. Budweiser has actually come out now and said that they're behind Curtis from Alberta. So some smart, smart.
Now I hope
counter marketing
there.
I hope Budweiser steps up with some dollars for this guy, because Budweiser's words are merely giving them good shine without really helping him at all, because he can't drink Budweiser and do the show anymore. So they're just taking advantage. I hope that Budweiser has a little bit of shine for him to make it all worthwhile.
Hey, you better tread carefully if you cross Curtis from Alberta, as we've seen, right? Like, if he comes out and says, "Hey, Budweiser hasn't given me a damn thing,"
that's right.
That won't look good on them. I'm sure they're giving him something, but this whole thing strikes me as like, first of all, why care about this? Like, this is so small and insignificant. Like, to actually, for Molson Coors or the Toronto Maple Leafs to care that some guy he's not making big bucks off this. I mean, he claims he's not making any money off of this. He just thought it was cool having a can for himself. So, like, this is not like a threat to their business at all.
No,
for either company. So I don't get why you would do this. And if you thought that this was significant enough, like, he does have a big enough voice that he does matter, which was why you would theoretically bring this up. Why not be smart about it and give him free Molson Coors stuff? Like,
right.
Hey, we saw your videos. We love it. Like, we'd love to, like, give you this, and this, and do it that way. And then you get ahead of it. Like, be creative. Don't be.
It's a no-brainer.
It was right
don't
there.
Don't be tone deaf here. Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'll drink Yellow Dog myself. Neighborhood as well.
They never let us down. They never let us down.
Local craft.
I would drink Yellow Dog on camera any day, guys.
You know what? Mike, send him a box of beer. All right. We know how to market on this show. Send Rob a case of Yellow Dog. Rob, let us know when it arrives.
Too. It's better than when he was drinking. So
yeah, let us know when it arrives. We'll catch on next Thursday.